I just want to say, um, if you see the differ in the respect factor of our smiles and our handshakes as we grew apart year for year from our peers to my family, and I just want to say that it's decent for me to to abbreviate the word, you know, the words that I use, not the word, but you know, and I think that some people should really understand occasions, casual, hip, um, fashion, latest, precise, you know, for being I've gathered my mind frame well enough to understand I am a man, you know, and I don't disrespect people, and I understand that I should understand that my personality has really been looked at a lot from others, and people may have viewed me differently, you know, because of my music, and my music shows for itself. I really have graphics, I really show a lot of art in it, I show a lot of art in my music. I show a lot of art in, they say I talk like I'm educated, and I just want to show my appreciation. I just want to show my my leadership. You know, when you want something for so long and you want it so bad and you don't understand how you can get there, that's when it hurts. That's why it's so much pain in music. People don't understand they can just wake up and go buy a camera and start their career after they've been rapping for so many years. You waiting on somebody to help you. You going to the studio over and over. You know what I'm saying? People want to see their lives, man. They want to, people are stressed out. You know what I'm saying? You are the star. Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror, and you look at your reflection in the mirror, and you've been carrying yourself like a star for this many years. You are a star. Tell yourself that. You know, you don't have. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to give up on your life. You know, because people want the best for you. You don't have to acknowledge um mischief. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people try to ask you questions or uh, recommend an undeveloped mind frame. An undeveloped mind frame is tampered with and dampered with by drugs. You know, you see somebody doing what they ain't supposed to do. What you gonna do? Join them? Some people brought up differently. Some people brought up to defend themselves and do everything they can to do the right thing. You know, and I only could tell y'all. I only could tell y'all if the respect matter is giving in, like what I'm saying, then I don't know what's wrong. Then it's something about that person who shine. It's something about that person who shine that some people want the best of. It's one thing. It's a certain thing to be a. I want to be a part of this, but it's another thing for somebody to sit back and try to destroy you mentally and physically over their joy. But I sit back and I see people who I see people who ask for permission at ages older than me, and it's love for a person to respect and have a a promise. If you hold a promise in your heart for so long, people want to destroy that. You got people out there full with hatred, devotedly. They have no interest in how you live. and they show it every day. You see your family gather around tables and they pray together, and they show their interest in each other by gathering their families with their own family and understand that their family grows. Some people have no interest in living with the appropriateness in their mind frame. They abuse their privileges by what they can get out of people. You don't be on the end of their handshake when somebody take you to the wrong place. Talking about I'm here for you. You don't be on the you don't be out here doing what you ain't supposed to do because of somebody said something to you of their interest in their own manner. You know, they called it um um they called it wrong. Yeah, they called it wrong. Call it wrong. Don't do people wrong. They say you know you say you see a lot of things, and you dream things, and you live. You understand. You know, people they try to place people try to place what they think of you. You know, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot for our culture, and our humanity to go astray. You see somebody going astray, you should welcome your mind frame and welcome your appearance to show the better half of you. It's a battle. Everybody want to battle each other, but not everybody. If you really see the better view, you know what I'm saying. You see the better view, and you see the better accomplisher. If the knowledge in these books and the knowledge in these music gives you the attention that it gives you, then you should be very appreciative to what you can do in your life. Because everybody don't have a chance to be the best. Everybody don't know they're the best. Everybody want to be a part of the best. But you see a lot of things. You see a lot of people throwing their lives down the drain. They throw their lives down the drain. People want to be a part of something they have no interest in. Now I live my life. I lived my life in these streets for years since I was a child, since I reached the double digits as a little boy. I was out there, dreaming, making straight A's in elementary, But I reached junior high school. Wow, this stuff was just disaster, I was like the joke boy. I was making the jokes in classroom. Then I reached junior high school. I'm rapping it. I'm rapping in the auditorium, in the cafeteria, and I'm rapping everywhere. Just rapping. That's my dream. Some people didn't like that, how I carry myself, and they want to talk about the past, the history, because you know what I'm saying. When you place the acknowledgement and the grief, and you see greed, you sit back and you want to speak. When you want to speak, that means people reach out to you and they can see it. They can read what you want out of your life, and your opinions and the facts captures everything that you stand for, because they're gonna try to capture your mind the best way they can. The enemies, the people who want you hurt, the people who want you to give up. They care not about your appearance. They care not about who you are. They care not about how you grow. They care not about how you agree with your family, how you agree with your friends. If you abbreviate a punishment and you abbreviate letters, then you can use them. You can use them the best way you know how, and you use them to your most power of interest. Use them for your best educated mind frame. The only muscle in your brain, the muscle in your body, you had better use it because you are still humanity. People say they don't agree with your lifestyle because how you dress. They don't agree with your lifestyle because how you appear in the vision of people you show interest in. And I see the most dangerous. I see danger. They say I see danger when I look at me. I see hurt when I look at me. I see pain when I look at me. I see joy. I see loss. I see a battle. I see reflections. I see leadership. I see your mind is trying to develop so strongly that it's so hurtful and it's painful that it needs to be educated before it gives up on its own strength. If you admit, the power of prayer, God reaches for a person. Perception is something. What else? A lot of things are looked over TV. If you're not on it, then some people don't want to talk to you. You might not even be respected, and that's the truth. That's the truth about it. If you ain't on that TV, somebody might not even respect you because they ain't never seen you before. They want to tamper with your body, tamper with your face because you try and do it. They don't care about none of that stuff. They think when somebody wants the best of you, that's exactly what they're going to most likely try to get until you destroy them. Greed. 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 I say, a lot of people want to be repeated. When you see somebody want to repeat it, they try to mold and craft everything that you are. Who is they? The enemy. And I've acknowledged a lot of things, and I've acknowledged a lot of respect. I should do this one.